We're here with Lois Cole, Director of Friends of Deepwood. Tell us something about the room that we're sitting in right now.
Well, you're sitting, Abby, in the solarium of Deepwood, which was originally not here when the house was built. This room was built as the porte cochere, which was the area that the horse and buggy would drive through, leaving people off at the front door porch. And then the horse and carriage would continue along the back side of the house and pull into the carriage house.
Wow, it's one of the first things that I notice is how much of Deepwood has remained the same. I understand that in the 1970s there was a battle between, I guess, local government and the people of Salem to save the building. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. It's really one of my favorite parts of the story of Deepwood, because what this story is about is how a group of people can come together and affect change. The house was occupied by Alice Bingham until 1968. When she passed away, it took a few years, but the house was acquired by the city of Salem, and part of the money to come together for this house was raised through a vigorous campaign of citizens who then purchased the house along with the city. But before that happened, Deepwood was going to be torn down. And IBM was going to tear the house down, widen Mission Street, and put an office building here. So it was really only because citizens got together and thought this is an absolutely beautiful home, it's important to preserve this home rather than tear it down, that the house was eventually purchased by the city in '71, and in '74 the Friends of Deepwood was formed.
How does this Salem house compare in age to other historical landmarks here in town?
Well, what is most there's a lot of beautiful historic homes in Salem. Some of them around the Capitol Mall area were razed, and a lot were destroyed over the years. The other house that remains in the public eye very much is Bush House, which is run by the Salem Art Association, and it's our next door neighbor. And it's really fun to be able to come and see both of the houses because they're so different. It's not coming to mind the exact year that it's built, but it's around 15 years difference. And just to see how much things have changed in 15 years is really, really very interesting.
We're here in the upstairs of Deepwood checking out the Victorian Ladies exhibit. I got this brochure from Betty, and this is open through this April. Right off the bat, what hits me are just all these beautiful dresses, because as it says inside the booklet here about the dresses, if I can get there, this was the children's room, and this display is about white lawn dresses, hats, and gloves, and the calling cards that you can see against the wall in a minute. And it says here, from about 1895 through 1915, the basic styles worn by ladies of all ages was a pure white, frothy, lace-trimmed gown known as a lingerie dress. In this Victorian bedroom, we have this jewelry cabinet over here, and as it says in the booklet, it's filled with jewelry caskets, mother-of-pearl opera glasses, which are sitting right there and we looked at earlier, so you can have your magnifying glasses to see the show from far away. Columbia Portrait Studio photographs were also something that Betty told us about, because as you can see, there are a few family portraits done in here from Columbia Portrait Studio photographs. It has floral embellished pitcher and chocolate sets, milk glass dresser set, calling cards, very old fashioned over here, and star point magnifying glasses. We're here in the upstairs bathroom, which is just another example of the way that sort of materials look like something else, because the sink itself is marble, but the sink basin is not. But it has the illusion of being marble to sort of project more illusion of wealth. We're here in the Victorian Ladies Hidden Meanings exhibit, and it says, on the bed, crazy quilts were very popular from about 1876 to 1910. Right now, we're standing in front of a cupboard called Heartfelt Feelings. This was an old Valentine's display, but I think it's still really important to talk about, because one of the overlooked aspects about, elements of the past are the little cards and just the little trinkets that you can find. And this display shows mass-produced valentines that were sold in America by the mid-1800s, or vintage valentines, if you will. Along with other hidden meanings, fans were used as very social objects, and it says fans were sometimes used by ladies to convey unspoken words to potential suitors. Another part of the Victorian Ladies exhibit is about the Deepwood family. The original occupants, the Binghams. It says Dr. Port, who built Deepwood, sold the home to George and Willie Bingham in 1895. And obviously, different members of the family are pictured in here. And what Betty told me, which I think is a little interesting to think about, is to go beyond the portrait and think about the person in it. I mean, you know, something artful like that, or those, you might think that this little girl had a bit more pizzazz, or that this woman really liked the dress that she was wearing. But having seen a great number of family photos of, you know, my own family that go back to the 1800s, little portraits, you know, you can see more about people's personality through the photos, but obviously in the times when it took a long time to establish the exposure and develop it, there's not many people smiling, but still a lot of character in these old photos.
There, and then like 4 times that fast. Keep going. See all the little holes?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you're ready, I can turn it over so you can see the back.
Go ahead.
That there's holes punched in it.
Mm-hmm.
And those are what catches on the combs.
Hey, just like the other thing.
Like a music box.
Exactly.
And you see this, and this is a music box. And then here's the title of the song. Old Black Joe is the name of this song, which probably isn't one that we want to have.
But I get it, it's on everyone.
Yeah. And we have this nice collection that was donated to us just a little over a year ago. And what I have to show kids is that this is how it works, where you've got these little metal fingers, and they're called combs, and they hit the bumps. And that's what creates the sound, is that the little combs are what's creating the music.
Wow.
And this actually is a double comb euphonia, so it has 2 sets of those metal fingers. So we're used to these kind of music boxes as kids.
Yeah.
But this is the same technology. Instead of being a cylinder, it's a disc though. As soon as it quits playing, we can play the euphonia. It's almost done.
I love that thing. Okay, now I'm beginning to love the museum.
Yeah, see?
Well, Christian and I had a great day at Deepwood, and we definitely invite you to come check it out. Christian was much better at the player piano than I was, so I'm going to let him wrap up the show with a little song. Howdy ho! We're here in the Met exhibit. I did it, and you didn't stop me. And we definitely invite you to check it out. Christian and I loved playing the play it yourself piano. The play it yourself piano. Okay. We love playing the woody thingy with the keys and